Honorable Speaker, it's very possible, by the way, that the Prime Minister does not even know the contents of the committee report, but she was very quick to rise up to defend.
Honorable Chair,
Speaker, I am on procedure. Legal Committee Chairman, Honorable Namuyango, I am on point of procedure. You're always absent here. You don't even know the rules.
Please.
Prime
Minister.
Order.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Let's have calm. Let's Law finish his statement.
Honorable Speaker, I would like that the Prime Minister ceases to get excited. Please don't get excited. This is a parliament of rules, and you have been here for quite a bit of time. I don't know why, as Prime Minister, you don't read the rules.
Honorable Lord, can you raise your issue?
And I was raising it before the Prime Minister, who doesn't know the rules, rose up to disorganize me.
No, you raise your issue. Raise your issue.
Let me then raise it. Hopefully the Prime Minister will be calm and quiet. Honorable Speaker, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by the Prime Minister, I had expected, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee chairperson to help us, and because when you gave that guidance, that there's going to be adequate time, for me, I took that to be guidance for the committee. So I don't know why they hurried and locked out.
No, let's hear from the chair of the committee. Chair committee.
Perhaps.
Chair committee. Hassan, I'm going to send you out. There is one house.
45 days within which to process a bill, refer to it.
Yes.
That simply means that within 45 days you should be able to present the work. If that work is presented within a week, you have not offended any rule. If the work is presented within a day, you should be thanked for being efficient. And that's what we have exactly done. The bill is ready, we considered it, and we are ready to report to the House.
Next item.
I do understand that a committee can process a bill even in 1 hour. Forget about one entire day. But you see, that is in the event when there are no interested people as stakeholders to give input. Because you see, our law passing process is supposed to be consulted to give our input. And you locked them out. That's the challenge. You can produce and process a bill in even 1 hour.
No, as of now, we don't even know which stakeholder was they interacted with.
I am a stakeholder, Right Honorable Speaker.
So what we need to do is to wait and hear which stakeholders they consulted.
Allow me to finish and then you rule, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm a stakeholder. My political party received the invitation at 8 a.m. saying come at 9 a.m. That's the National Unity Platform. We wrote to the committee and they received the letter, requesting that this was very short notice. There's no magic we could do.
That is
and requested for Monday
that is on which bill
at
now?
9 a.m.
Which bill now are we talking
on the
about?
UPDF amendment bill.
Okay, let's first start with the
allow me to finish, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Lord.
The committee received our letter. They did not write back to us. So as we were waiting to show up on Monday to present our views, over the weekend they were busy processing, writing a report. That's problematic, Right Honorable Speaker, because you see, we are supposed to be a people-centered parliament, meaning that the laws we pass, which should be for the good of the people, those people should be consulted so that they have their input. And by the way, you can end up disregarding the input of those stakeholders, but listen to them. You cannot disregard them and think it's okay. No, listen to them, and then you can disregard them. But when you don't give them opportunity to show up, you are violating our laws. Right Honorable Speaker, finally, I was alarmed because you see, we seem to be creating and painting an atmosphere that regardless of what the views that come through are, this bill is finito. I saw with sadness the government chief whip late in the night. He was speaking to the media. he said we have met and concluded that this bill is going to be passed as is. That worried me because the government chief whip, who is our colleague here, knows that this bill, the UPDF amendment bill, was brought to this house by government. I had thought that as government chief whip, you would be interested in a bill that you have brought.
What is the procedure here?
I am raising it, I'm building it, Right Honorable Speaker. I had thought that as government chief whip, you would be interested in input of different stakeholders into your bill as government. But when you bring a bill, and then you say, we are going to pass it as is, regardless of any other input, regardless whether consultations have happened or not, that is problematic. That is outside the law. Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, and I want to appreciate them, they made through the night to even put together a minority report. But what you are saying is that that is disregarded. Right Honorable Speaker,
Give me the minority. Where is the minority?
Is it all right that we sit here and pretend that we are processing a bill within the law, that we are capturing the views of all the other people, and yet not? Because we gave you the benefit of doubt to say, okay, let's partake in this process. But you have abused that because you're saying we don't care. And at night, the government chief whip says, regardless, we are passing it as it is. So why did you invite people? Maybe that's why you didn't even give them time.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, finally, I am very hard pressed, together with my colleagues, for us to sit here and participate in a sham process. And I'm calling it a sham process because it is pretentious. When you bring a bill here, you should give it time for people to have their input. But you are saying, we don't want your input, we are going to pass the bill as is. That's why, Right Honorable Speaker, you did not rein in on the committee to give adequate time to the stakeholders. That means this is pretentious, this is a sham for these two bills, the UPDF amendment bill and the political parties amendment bill. So, Right Honorable Speaker, myself together with my colleagues, we are hard pressed to participate in this sham process. So we shall leave you here to participate in your sham process, to process your bill, pretending that you are getting the input of the people of Uganda and yet not. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will take my leave because I don't want to participate in this sham process. Thank you.
Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Honorable members, next item.
Item 4. Item 4 on the order paper.
Honorable members, you recall that on Wednesday, 14th May 2025, Honorable Nakut Faith tabled the private members' bill, the political parties amendment
Procedure.
bill 2025
Procedure.
for the first reading.
Procedure.
Yes, Jonah. Honorable members, can we have free sitting? Can we have free sitting? Justice, Shadow Justice.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, about
Honorable members, listen to Honorable Dur.
Madam Speaker, about 2 weeks ago, the President issued an instrument of appointment of a cabinet member in the name of Adonia Ayebare. Appointment of cabinet members are provided for in the Constitution, and reference to a member of cabinet is severally referred in our rules of procedure, how Parliament interacts with members of the cabinet. The procedural matter I'm raising is twofold. One is for the government, leader of government business, to brief this House, because my expectation was that a member appointed to cabinet would be forwarded to Parliament,
Appointments Committee.
for Parliament to Appointments Committee to interact, approve or disapprove, but also to inquire on the actual arrangement of that nature of appointment. The second procedural matter is that shortly after that appointment, Madam Speaker, there were informations in the public domain, and I saw copies of letters, that Ambassador Adonia Ayebare is implicated there are allegations touching his conduct as our ambassador in New York,
In New York.
to the extent that he is being investigated by authorities outside jurisdiction of Uganda, and it touches a matter of public funds of an estimated $500,000 that was meant to benefit the government of Uganda. Up to now, Parliament and the country has not received any explanation, any justification, or even the steps being taken. So the procedural matter I am raising are twofold. One, to have a briefing how Parliament can interact with such a kind of appointment in cabinet. Is he a half cabinet minister? Is he a quarter cabinet minister? What kind of appointment is that? And then two, and I am not able to see him here because he's required to be here. But two, that particular allegation, which is very serious and soils the image of this country, what steps are being taken by the government? In the alternative, Madam Speaker, I would then persuade you that that matter be investigated by the relevant committee of this House so that the image of the country, the image of Uganda cannot be let go. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jonah. Honorable Prime Minister, I will to move a motion to that effect. Honorable Nakut.
Right Honourable Speaker, in accordance with Rule 136 of the Rules of Procedure, the Political Parties and Organizations Amendment Bill 2025 be read for the second time.
Seconded. Seconded by our Honorable Minister Kasaija and the whole House except the Honorable Dur. Whole House. Would you love to speak to your motion?
Yes, Right Honourable. Right Honourable Speaker. And it was referred to the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny and report back to under the rules 135(1).
Right Honourable Speaker of this Parliament, which you have severally ruled and confirmed, states that the front bench on either side of the House are exclusively reserved for members of the two alternative governments.
Exactly.
The procedural matter I'm raising is whether the front bench on this side, where I'm seated uncomfortably, being disturbed by the Honorable Balam, the Honorable Gwang, would it be proceeded to remove them and put them elsewhere?
Honorable members, that
Allow
seat
the
is
front-
meant for the ministers on the alternative.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Can you continue?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. As I had said earlier, the bill was referred to
Honorable members, we gazetted the two front benches for ministers. And that is gazetted in our rooms.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The ministers are protected. The bill was sent to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny and report back under Rule 135(1) and 200 of our Rules of Procedure. Right Honourable Speaker, the object of the bill is to amend the Political Parties and Organizations Act, Cap 178, to achieve the following three things. One of them is to restrict government funding and other public resources provided to political parties and political organizations that are represented in Parliament to only political parties and organizations that are members of the National Consultative Forum. The other thing the bill seeks to address is to provide for the inter-party Organization for Dialogue and the Forum for Non-Represented Political Parties and Political Organizations as organs of the National Consultative Forum. And finally, Right Honorable, the bill seeks to provide for the functions of the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue and for related matters. Right Honorable Speaker, the Sectoral Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs has told me that they have done their work, they've concluded consultations, and they are ready to report. I submit, Right Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Sponsor. Private